guys, so Simone did a great job of presenting sort of the Jewish aspects to the new exhibit here, Do Not Destroy, Trees, Art, and Jewish Thought. So she touched on Do Not Destroy, Repairing the World, and the Jewish tree holiday, Tu B'Shvat. The themes that I'll be exploring in my presentation are a little bit more broad, and they include the relevance that art and humans have to trees, the significance and the universal symbolism of trees, and how a tree can speak to one's culture or personal identity. So there are three parts of this exhibit, and Simone touched on this a little bit, but the first part is the Dorothy Sachs Invitational. The museum has held these invitationals a couple times before, once for Seder plates, I think, and a couple other items, but this time they just asked 50 artists from around the country to respond to the themes of Tu B'Shvat, which Simone explained very well. And then there's the main exhibit part, which has about 20 works made by well-established artists, international artists, and these are just sort of their interpretations of trees or what trees mean to them. Some of them were included in Simone's presentation as well. And then there's a third part, which is also part of the main exhibition, but it's actually an installation in Jessie Square Plaza, which is right out front here. And that is by the San Francisco-based environmental design firm Rebar, and they do like parklets. I don't know if you guys have seen them, but yeah, they designed sort of this like lounge seating area for events to happen outside during this exhibit, as well as these really awesome like planter things that are like multicolored, and they have trees planted in them that are native to, as we just discussed, Israel and also the San Francisco Bay Area and California in general. So yeah, that's just sort of like a broad overview of the Do Not Destroy exhibit. So the main thing that I'll be exploring is the relationship that trees have with humans and the relationship that trees have with their environments. So my presentation is largely participatory and interpretive, so you guys don't have to take notes, but I will definitely be sort of talking about themes that you guys might want to use in your tours and stuff. So you guys have sort of context for this, I sit like in meetings with the educators who are the people that lead the tours, and they like really take apart all these works, and like I've just been like exposed to sort of how they're like planning on presenting them to the general public, so I'm kind of doing the same thing for you guys right now. So I will be leading sort of an inquiry-based presentation. So my first question is, what are trees symbols of? And this can be in your life, in your community, or globally. So what do trees symbolize? Yeah.
Stability.
Stability.
Yeah.
Family. I think with family trees.
Yeah.
And offshoots from one form.
Just like life and growth in general.
Yeah.
Wisdom.
Well rooted. So trees are a big symbol in my life. My dad is from El Salvador, and he planted a tree there, and I remember the first time going over, he told me that he had planted a tree with his brother when they were younger, and that the tree always said hi to him when he came, just waving. So that's trees in my life. I also planted a tree in my backyard when I was younger out of an apple core that I had eaten, and it didn't bloom for like many years, and then just in the past couple of years it's just been blooming. So
Wow.
yeah, definitely family, like you were talking about, roots and stuff. So there are many works within the main exhibit that touch on, like I said, trees and humans and trees and their environment. So I'm going to start off with trees and their environment. And the first piece that I'm going to talk about is Charles LaBelle's Illuminated Trees. So LaBelle considers himself an urban observer. I think that we all are kind of urban observers in our own way, but what he noticed is that he resides in LA, and kind of the gritty areas of LA, and he found that there were only a few trees in these like incredibly urban environments, and that they weren't really highlighted at all. They were kind of just an afterthought. So he kind of wanted to highlight them and emphasize them, and I don't know, kind of, I guess, portray them in sort of a portrait-like way. So what he did is he went by at night, and he took, he artificially illuminated, so he took like an LED flashlight, and he would like shine it certain points of the trees, and then he captured these photographs. So what do you guys notice about these trees, and what do they remind you of?
really
Christmas
bright.
trees.
Definitely. What do you experiences?
Just Christmas trees lit up.
Yeah.
Affects like a person,
Mhm.
and that like you don't actually get to see the person until like you shed some light on it, and actually like take the time to look and like get to know the person.
I like a lighthouse.
Yeah, those are all really great. I think also, like you can find certain maybe shapes in these photographs that might remind you of something. The one on the left reminds me of like maybe a ghost or something. But yeah, I think this is a really interesting piece because it's kind of like he's taking a portrait of something or someone. Like he's shining light on them in a very specific way, and then he takes a portrait. But to me, they look very candid. Like he was just kind of driving by, and they're kind of like deer in headlights, like waving a flashlight around, and you get them. But in contrast, and Simone touched on this a little bit, but Tal Chocat also did portraits of trees, but in a very different way. So what this artist does is she carefully cleans every single branch of the tree, every single leaf of the tree, and then hangs black velvet behind them, and then captures a photograph of them. So it's really different than Lebel's technique of sort of capturing trees as in like a portrait-like way. But yeah, I'm sure that you guys can see the differences between these two, but I think what's also really important to highlight is that they are also very similar in the fact that they're sort of capturing a portrait of something. So I think that this, it's interesting because they both definitely take into consideration the environment. So Lebel kind of leaves the urban environment behind the tree, lets it be sort of part of this larger thing, while Chocat decided to take away the context of the tree and just get the tree. So I think that that's really interesting. So another artist that explores trees and their environments is Natalie Jeremijenko, whose piece is not a painting, sculpture, or photograph, but is rather a video. It's installed in the exhibit as a video thing. And so what she did is in 2003, she engineered a group of clone trees. So they were genetically identical completely. And she put them in different parts of San Francisco, very different environments and stuff, and documented how the different environment conditions affected the trees. So that's gonna definitely be something interesting to look at in the exhibit, is just to see how the genetically identical trees changed just based off of their environment. So the next couple pieces that I'm gonna go into are a lot more personal and on artists' like personal relationship with trees. Is anyone familiar with the book The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein? Alright, does anyone want to summarize The Giving Tree?
Alright, so The Giving Tree is like my favorite book, and it's about like a little boy who has this relationship with a tree, and it's like the tree always looked after him, and like he would spend hours and like every day going to the tree, and as he gets older, like things change, and like the tree just gives as he grows older, like he needs different things, and the tree like provides those different things, and in the end, the tree gives up like his whole, like basically its whole life by its bark, and gives it to the little boy, I think, to make a house. Is it?
A boat.
A boat.
Actually,
Yeah. And it's the cutest book ever.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, it's really sad. Does anyone want to add anything to that summary? So the final sort of frame in the book is this guy who has spent his whole entire life, when he was younger he climbed the tree, then he got older, he would eat fruit off the tree, then he got a little bit older and he would make out with his girlfriend behind the tree, then he would like take fruit off the tree to give to other people, then he ended up needing a boat to go somewhere, so he cut down the tree, and then he kept going back to the tree and asking the tree for things, and the tree would give whatever it needed, whatever it could to the boy. And then the last frame of the novel is the boy just sitting on the stump of the tree because he already took it off for a boat. And then in the end, the man dies and the tree is just left there as a stump. Kind of sad. But there's one artist featured in the main exhibit named Eugen Taruya. And in one of his pieces called The Giving Tree Project, he added more trees to the book's pages. So you can see he's a very intricate artist, and he cut out tree shapes from the book, so when you turn the pages there are sort of these three-dimensional trees falling out. Well, they're two-dimensional, but they're falling out to make three-dimensional. And I just think that's really cool because I think that the message behind sort of his work is that in the end the boy didn't plant a new tree, and I think it's a very integral part of the Jewish tradition to plant a tree either when somebody's born or when somebody dies, to sort of either remember them or follow their life with them. And in the end, the protagonist's sort of failure in the end is that he doesn't plant a new tree for someone else to enjoy and be able to have a relationship with. So yeah, he also made this piece called Notice Forest, and that's right here. You can see, and what he did is he took a bag from a camera shop, and he did a similar thing, and he made a cutout of a tree, and it's like lit very specifically, so it kind of highlights it. And I think that, and that in and of itself is a political statement, or I guess a cultural statement to sort of target our consumer society and stuff, but also I think that both of these pieces speak really well to the relationships between humans and trees. So what do you guys think about that based off of these two pieces? Like, what do we get from trees? What do we give to trees?
I mean, like, we gain a lot from trees, I think. Like, all the stuff that we eat mostly comes from trees, or like something related to a tree. And we give our, what do you call it, carbon dioxide to the trees. Yeah, like, we get, like, air, like carbon dioxide and oxygen. How, like, that works. And we get that from trees, we get paper, and stuff.
We get shade. Yeah, we get a lot from trees, but in order to get things from trees, we have to nurture the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, but only if like